Hello and welcome to another video review from AVForums. I'm Phil Hinton and I've been the site editor since 2003. I'm also a fully trained and qualified THX and ISF professional calibrator with 19 years of experience. In today's video we have our review of the Samsung QN95A Neo QLED LED LCD TV. Before we talk about the performance of the Samsung, if you like our reviews and want to see more of them while supporting our channel, then please like and subscribe. And don't forget to click the notification bell to be informed every time we upload new video content. You can also find a link to our Patreon in the video description. Also, don't forget to check out the TV forums at Europe's largest AV community on AVForums to see what owners of this TV think about it after normal use in their own homes. We publish our in-depth TV reviews, which include measurements and calibration results, first on AVForums, usually a little while before our YouTube videos, so make sure you head over and check them out as they contain even more in-depth calibration details and testing. We reviewed the Samsung QN95A in December 2021. The QN95A is Samsung's flagship 4K LED LCD TV for 2021, and as such it launches with the new Mini LED Neo QLED panel, which promises even more LEDs, more dimming zones and better precision to the backlight and local dimming algorithm. This aims to produce better black levels, superior just above black shadow detail and much more precise and detailed peak highlights with HDR10 content. The QN95A sports 792 zones compared to the 480 zones on previous year's 4K flagship TVs from Samsung. Added to this is a newly developed local dimming algorithm that can handle the extra dimming zones intelligently and also take energy away from areas that are supposed to be black and transfer that to the brighter areas of the image, allowing for much higher peak brightness and dynamic range. Added to the mini LED enhancements is quantum dot technology for even better accurate colour reproduction. The QN95A supports HDR10, HDR10+, and HLG or Hybrid Log Gamma HDR formats, but it does not support Dolby Vision. There is a solid performance across the board for those looking for an all-round TV for bright or darkroom viewing, and it offers peak brightness of 1588 nits in the most accurate HDR Filmmaker Mode with a full screen brightness of 675 nits, providing an excellent dynamic range for HDR10 content. Black levels are also, for the majority, solid and detailed, with good shadow detail retrieval and decent local dimming thanks to those thousands of mini LEDs in the backlight. There are still some issues with local dimming affecting the peak highlights in some mixed scenes as it dims down the brightness on offer to stop haloing. There's also some dirty screen effect and a little bit of black crush, but this is much improved over previous year's models thanks to those mini LEDs and the better local dimming algorithm. Overall, with HDMI 2.1 gaming features, excellent smart TV and strong HDR brightness with superb calibrated colour and grayscale, the QN95A does live up to its flagship status and it comes recommended for those looking for a good quality all-round living room TV. Looking at the grayscale results for Filmmaker Mode, we can see that the red energy dips from the darkest part of the scale towards the brightest part. Green is also a touch high through the same scale, and this means that our delta E errors are slightly higher than the visible threshold of 3 from around 60% brightness and up, which means that a slight cyan colour shift can be seen in white. This is not ideal and we would expect better from Filmmaker Mode in such a premium TV, so Samsung does have some work to do here. Our gamma is good with just a slight darkening at 10% brightness, and that does translate as a slight black crush with some test content we know well. The Rec 709 results are also slightly disappointing for Filmmaker Mode, with some hue issues with green, cyan and magenta, as well as undersaturation of red at 50% and 75% saturation points. These do look worse on the graph than they do with actual viewing content on the QN95A, but it would be nice to see a little bit more accuracy, even with some panel variance expected. The results are reasonable and look accurate for an out-of-the-box preset, but the measured results fall a little short of what we would expect from Filmmaker Mode. Certainly the OLED results have been a lot better from the competition at this price point. Looking at the grayscale first, we can see that the QN95A is capable of reference results with an excellent grayscale track and delta E errors well under 1, which is below the visible threshold of 3, so no errors are visible when you're watching film or TV content on the Samsung. Gamma still has that slight darkening at 10% brightness, but the rest of the tracking is excellent. Our Rec 709 results are also good, with the issues of hue and undersaturation almost taken care of. We couldn't do anything about the red saturation at 75% stimulus, and magenta still has a very slight hue issue, but these are invisible when watching actual film and TV content on the QN95A. Overall, the results are very good indeed for calibrated HDR image quality. Following results, we can see that it's able to produce a peak brightness of 1588 nits on a standard 10% window, with a full 100% window measuring in at 675 nits. This is lower than the advertised 2000 nits, but we're also using the most accurate picture preset, which aims at producing an HDR that is balanced and retains details in the peak highlights, rather than just pushing for just peak brightness. Unlike previous Samsung QLED flagships, which have pushed the PQ EOTF brighter than the ST2084 standard, the QN95A maintains the correct tracking of the standard with the right amount of brightness, which results in a balanced HDR10 image in the HDR Filmmaker Mode preset. This is an improvement from the company, given the previous flagships have pushed the brightness and required a contrast adjustment in the past. There's no need to do that here. The DCI P3 colour gamut saturation tracking is also very good, with just a few instances of hue errors pushing some points a little off where we would ideally like to see them. Red and blue are slightly undersaturated, with hue errors seen in magenta, cyan and green. However, the gamut size is good, with excellent colour volume and brightness on offer, producing a very nice colour performance with HDR10 content, even though it falls short of the claimed 100% gamut size. We measured BT 2020 at 68% XY and 72% UV, with P3 coming in at 92% XY and 95% UV. With the Samsung QN95A introducing Mini LED to the QLED lineup and marrying it with Samsung's usual high standard of local dimming algorithms, the performance on offer is very good indeed for an LED LCD TV. There is excellent image quality on offer for both bright and darkroom environments, with Samsung pushing this set for critical movie viewing in dim surroundings with an improved local dimming performance, and the new Mini LED technology pushing this performance further than previous years. When it comes to panel uniformity, the result of using the Mini LEDs is not really an improvement over last year's models, with some light dirty screen effect visible, especially in areas of colour and panning shots like football pitches. On a 5% window, we can see that the light edges and darker middle to the panel, which is visible in dark viewing conditions on this test slide, but less visible with actual dark screen content viewed in dim surroundings. Uniformity at other brightness levels is decent, with the odd instance of clouding also seen with the slides, and again this is less visible with actual viewing content. Black levels are also decent, with a nice amount of shadow detail visible within the content, with only slight black crush being noticeable when viewed in dim surroundings. The use of Mini LED has added some improvements to the black level performance, with a noticeable shift in dynamic range performance and visible shadow detail also seeing a step up within these tricky scenes. We still see some instances of the blooming suppression changing the light output with some scenes, such as the tricky Sandra Bullock tumbling through space and gravity, showing up changes in an obvious manner and losing some of the star fields as the local dimming attempts to keep the brightness constant. Video processing is also very good, with excellent upscaling of HD content to the UHD resolution of the QN95A, without any obvious signs of edge ringing or enhancements, and the image looks natural without any processing, giving it a processed or digital look. Colours are also excellent on the Samsung, with calibrated SDR and HDR looking sublime and vivid, but with natural and accurate colour balance. Skin tones look lifelike and natural, with excellent detail seen within faces, giving the QN95A a nice cinematic sheen. Contrast is also excellent, allowing details to be easily picked out without images looking processed or over-sharpened. Added to this is the very good motion performance, with film-based content looking filmic and natural with no added judder or motion blur, other than what is intended to be seen. Film grain is also very well presented where it's present, with no backdoor noise reduction scrubbing away any fine detail or sharpening being added that exaggerates the grain structure. I was also very impressed with the picture quality on offer from the QN95A in the majority of our testing. That's not to say that issues don't exist, as there are instances of dirty screen effect with some content and local dimming issues with some tricky low light and mixed scene content, but for the majority of my viewing, these issues were pretty much non-existent. The Samsung QN95A is a fantastic looking TV with a simple, minimalist design that incorporates excellent build quality, a neat one cable solution in the One Connect box, and a sleek, almost bezel-less look to the panel. That One Connect box has been redesigned to be a lot slimmer than previous examples and more compact, allowing you to place it easily away from the TV or leave it in full view with its neat new design. Around the back of the TV we have the one cable connector for the One Connect cable, and all the source connections are on the One Connect box itself. Connections wise, we have a One Connect slot, a USB, 4 HDMI 2.1 slots with eARC on HDMI 3, along with 2 further USB ports, a CI slot, RF and 2 satellite antennas, digital audio out and a LAN port. The power socket is positioned to the right side of the One Connect box, and there's also Wi-Fi, Bluetooth and Apple AirPlay 2 wireless connectivity. The Samsung QN95A comes with 2 remote controls in the box. The first one is a sleek one remote in black with a solar panel on the rear for charging the batteries. This is a new feature for 2021 and it works well, keeping the remote charged during use. The second remote is the now familiar traditional multi-key design covered in buttons. We go into much more detail in the written review on AVForums, so head over and read it there. Thanks for watching.